Next up, you'll often hear how cattle production relates to global sustainability. Not too long ago, I spoke with Robin White of Virginia Tech's Department of Animal and Poultry Sciences. I started by getting some information from Virginia Tech's 2019 Global Agricultural Productivity Report. According to that study, ag productivity growth is increasing by 1.6%, but that may not be enough.
So the projections are based on our global population growth, and at this point we need to increase agricultural productivity to be able to meet the demand for that growing global population. And the preliminary results would suggest that we need to increase the rate of productivity to be able to meet that gap.
And where would you say growth is stronger and where is it weaker?
I think the GAP report itself and the team involved in that's probably the best resource for that. Certainly I can speak from the animal sector, and animal agriculture is highlighted as a really exciting area where we can start to improve environmental impact of livestock or of agricultural systems, and at the same time work toward this idea of feeding our growing global population.
Yeah, because a lot of that ties into sustainable beef production. What are some things that will be a big focus in the beef industry in the coming years?
That certainly depends on whether you're talking nationally or globally, but I think our beef production system here in the U.S. is going to try and continue our trends in improving productivity and developing the most environmentally friendly products that we can. Historical estimates suggest that the environmental impact of beef production in the U.S. has decreased dramatically as we've improved efficiency of our production systems, and I think moving forward that's a big emphasis that will continue to try and maintain that trend. Another thing that I think the beef industry is becoming more aware of is the need to communicate with people about the environmental impact and the healthfulness of beef products, because our understanding in that area is evolving pretty quickly. And certainly the average consumer probably doesn't have the most up-to-date information.
And I believe you were quoted in an article, I found this interesting, where you said that if animal ag were to decrease, then the increases in the other areas may not, or still may not be that beneficial. So if you could explain what you mean by that.
Yeah, so we have some work evaluating what would happen if we removed animal agriculture from the U.S. production system in terms of human edible nutrients and in terms of environmental impact. So what we see is, it should be fairly logical. If we remove animals from agriculture, we can then feed people the feed that animals currently consume. But when you do the math on that, the type of feed that animals currently consume is not the type of feed that most humans probably want or need. It tends to be high energy, low micronutrient food products. Whereas livestock products provide low energy, high micronutrient products. So livestock provide this opportunity to kind of condense micronutrients in low energy foodstuffs, which is a really important way to be able to obtain micronutrients in the human diet. The other important outcome of that investigation was related to how environmental impact of the production systems might change. So because of the kind of counterbalancing effects of a change in an agricultural ecosystem that's really evolved to have both crop and animal-based agriculture, we see on a national scale something like a 2.9% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions associated with removing animals from agriculture. That's probably a lot less than what we would infer based on the carbon footprint numbers thrown around for beef in particular.
And in your opinion, I think this answer can go in a million different directions, but say we're looking 50 years down the line, what do you think people are eating and what does that farm of the future look like to you?
You know, I will kind of hedge on that answer a little bit based on the fact that humans are omnivores. And I think over time what we learn is that extremes in any direction are kind of negative in terms of our health. And I think human health will always be the primary driver of human diets. And so I would imagine we're going to move toward diets that our physiology can sustain. And so that's probably a diet that includes animal products, a diet that includes plant products, and a diet in moderation.